So during this practice, I'm going to read a poem called "She Who Has Given Herself to the Dharma," or "She Who Has Given Herself to the Truth," and it's from a fabulous book of poems called "The First Free Women," and it's poems of the early Buddhist nuns. And there's some really lovely ones in there, particularly relevant to our meditation practice. So I will start the practice by reading the poem. I'll settle us in, and then later on I'll read the poem again. So the trick is really not to think about the poem, but just to hold a space for the poem to just sink into our being, and just see what resonates. If it does, it might not. So here we go. So to begin with, placing the body in posture, so feeling the feet on the ground, lengthening and aligning the spine, lengthening the back of the neck and lifting the crown up into the sky, maybe rolling the shoulders up, back and down to open up the heart area. And you can have a relaxed downward gaze, or if you prefer, you can close the eyes. So this is your practice, so choose your posture, move when you need to, be comfortable with the spine aligned and a sense of groundedness. And our intention for this practice is maybe to be present, to notice when and where the mind wanders to, and then kindly bring ourselves back to being present. Maybe an intention to be open and curious about the words of a poem that are going to drop into the mind. But also connecting with your motivation, the reasons why you've made the time this evening to practice. How do you hope to benefit? And how does your practice benefit those around you? And now allowing the words of this poem to drop into the mind. For so long, I thought only of the river's end. Then one morning, I set my paddle down to watch the sun rise over the eastern hills, only to find myself floating somehow gently upstream. I promise, it was not what I had expected. Now connecting with the sensations of breathing in the body. And you might like to breathe a little deeper if that helps you to settle the mind. But no strain in the breathing. And seeing if it's possible to make the in-breath and the out-breath a similar length. And you might like to use phrases for this, so as you breathe in, saying to yourself, this is an in-breath. And as you breathe out, saying to yourself, this is an out-breath. So letting be any activity of the mind, choosing instead to focus on regulating the breathing with the phrases, this is an in-breath, this is an out-breath. And now becoming curious about any releasing quality of the out-breath, any feelings of letting go or relaxation as the body breathes out, allowing ourselves to relax into any sense of letting go. And then seeing if the mind can learn from the body. So in the same way that the body releases the out-breath, seeing if the mind can release involvement with thoughts. Is it possible to allow thoughts to move freely through the mind, just as the breath moves freely through the body? And now letting go of any control of the breath as we simply allow the breath to relax back into its natural rhythm, letting go of the phrases. Opening to the realm of physical sensations. And you might like to join me in a scan down the body, starting at the crown of the head and the forehead. So just noticing whatever physical sensations are present in this part of the body. And then allowing our experience of the body to be just as it is. So as we move down the body, noticing sensations, there's no need to change or fix anything. Just curious and allowing. So moving down to the level of the eyes and the ears and the nose, the jaw, the mouth, allowing sensations in the neck and the shoulders, the upper arms and rib cage, the elbows and the waist, the lower back, the belly, the lower arms. Moving our focus down to the pelvis region, the buttocks, the thighs and the hands and the knees. And moving down the lower legs to the ankles. And then feeling the feet planted on the ground. And then expanding our focus from the feet so that we become aware of the whole of the body as we allow the whole body to rest, unconditionally supported by the earth. allowing the whole body to rest, surrounded by space. And again, seeing if the mind can learn from the body. Just as we can rest the body, we can allow the mind to rest in the unconditional support of the body. Mind resting in the body resting on the ground, nothing to do. And then every time we notice that the mind has wandered, casually curious about where it's gone to this time, and then trusting our intention to bring us back to presence once more. And as we become present, taking our time to ground in the body, connecting with the breathing, and then opening, expanding our focus from the breathing body so that we become aware of the whole of our experience just as it is now. So often in our meditation practice, we might find that we are desiring some preferred state, that we're trying very hard to make something happen. When all that is asked of us in our meditation practice is to surrender to the present moment just as it is. But how do we surrender to this moment? For so long, I thought only of the river's end. Then one morning, I set my paddle down to watch the sun rise over the eastern hills, only to find myself floating somehow gently upstream. I promise, it was not what I had expected. So in this meditation practice, what would it be like to put my paddle down? What would it be like to let go of our expectations of what a meditation should be like? What would it be like to trust the meditation to unfold itself in its own way, in its own time? And whenever the mind wanders, casually curious about where it's wandering to this time, trusting our intention to bring us effortlessly back to now, where we ground, feeling the breathing, opening once more to the unfolding of our experience moment by moment. And as we drop this poem into the mind for a third time, holding an open space within, an open heart, receiving the words that are offered without having to do anything with them. For so long I thought only of the river's end. Then one morning I set my paddle down to watch the sun rise over the eastern hills, only to find myself floating somehow gently upstream. I promise, it was not what I had expected. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to achieve. And as we draw to the end of a meditation session together, appreciating ourselves for prioritizing our meditation practice this evening, for prioritizing our well-being, connecting with any benefits from our practice together, generating the wish that these benefits grow for all of us here, for our friends and our families, for anybody mentioned in the chat box, or anyone who we bring to mind just now. So that the peace and happiness and love that arises from our practice ripples out into our world in ever widening circles.